Back at it due to circumstances beyond our control. You have reached Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on this Tuesday, the 22nd day of January 2019. Dan Kuntz, your host. Thanks for starting your day with us here on the NCW Life Channel. Got a good show for you today. Lots going on. Big weather coming our way. Lots of active weather. In fact, we have a high wind watch that goes from tonight through tomorrow. Get ready for some significant winds, especially overnight tonight into early Wednesday morning. Big time winds. We're going to get to that here in just a couple of minutes. In fact, the National Weather Service sent us a special weather alert about a half an hour ago. Let us know how serious they think this is. But you folks all over north central Washington, especially the Waterville Plateau. Well, Waterville can see winds 75 miles an hour overnight tonight into tomorrow. Those very important weather details are coming up. So's your past report. So's the news. So's sports. So's the obscure holiday. So's today in history. We got birthdays coming your way. In the second half of the program, Jim Snyder and Adele Wolford will be joining me. Art on the Avenues is the topic today. There are 88 pieces of public art scattered all over downtown Wenatchee and on the Riverfront Park Trail. And, well, they want people to buy them. Great conversation. I should have had these people on a long time ago. I feel bad about that. But Jim and Adele will be joining me in the second half of the program. They came in and taped their segment yesterday. Broadcasting reminder tonight, we got high school wrestling at 7 o'clock. Not just any other wrestling match. It is Wenatchee and Eastmont. At Eastmont High School, Eric Granston will be there Matt side as the Panthers and the Wildcat Grapplers do battle. Getting near the tail end of the wrestling season and the girls' bowling season. There's still quite a bit of high school basketball yet to be played, though, because their season goes a couple of weeks longer than the wrestlers and the bowlers do. So we'll talk all about that when we get to sports. So if it's okay with you, like I need your permission, but we're going to do it anyway. 2 minutes after the hour, let's go around the valley with our Valley View cameras. Beautiful day yesterday, by the way, 42 degrees. Good morning, Wenatchee. 42, it was a sunny, nice day. It was a little chilly in the morning, but the sun came out and it stayed out all day long. It was gorgeous. By the way, if it feels a little odd weather-wise, I got this little factoid I looked up last night. It occurred to me we haven't had a long cold stretch, and every winter, for as long as I can remember, we have a stretch of a week or 10 days when we get really cold, like temperatures down in the single digits and the high temperature doesn't get above freezing, that kind of deal, really bitter cold. That hasn't happened at all this winter. In fact, the last time it was below 20 degrees in the Wenatchee Valley, that was the demarcation line I chose, 20 degrees. The last time it was below 20 was February 24th of last year. Yeah, it's been a mild winter. Good morning, Wenatchee. Camera 2, Megan decides we're going to pay a visit to, don't tell me, I have to figure this out. That is, I don't know. Oh, wait a minute, that's a dam on the left. So I'm going to say it's Hose Landing. Am I correct, Megan? It's not Hose Landing. Well, you're going to have to tell me then, because I'm out of guesses here. That's Omi Gardens pointed the other way. She threw a curveball at me. Good for you, 3M. So yeah, that's our Omi Gardens camera pointed the other direction. The Baker Flats industrial area is on your right, and the dam that I saw is Rocky Reach Dam, just from the other direction. So that's our Omi Garden camera, but instead of pointing down the river towards the valley, she has it pointed the other way. Way to be creative, Megan. Camera number 3. Again, it's all guessing. Well, that's easy. That's Cashmere. You can't miss Cashmere. And that cobalt blue with all the LED lights and the snow on the ground. That's our Apollonie's camera above the Apollonie's Mall in Cashmere. Good morning, Cashmere. Thanks for starting your day with us here on the NCW Life Channel. And with these fairly mild temperatures and strong winds, you see the snow on the hillsides above Cashmere. That may be gone altogether in about 48 hours. Although we do have a chance of snow, not a big chance. We have that graphically represented as well here in just a couple of minutes. And finally, camera 4. We say good morning to Bill E. Goat. Hello, Billy Goat. Billy Goat, that's the Columbia River there, as you can see, barely, on the left-hand side of your screen. Normally, if we have this pointed basically right at the Columbia River, you can see Brewster, you can see Pateros, you can see where the Methow empties in to the Columbia. We cannot shoot this up towards the Methow Valley, though, and we've discovered why, for a good reason. The support tower gets in the way. These things are on towers, of course, and they have guy wires and structures, and so we can't go 360. We can go 360, but you can only see about 340 degrees because the last 20 degrees is blocked by guy wires and support structures, which is kind of a bummer, but I'll take that view Any day of the week. Good morning, Billy Goat. We are, by the way, the number 7 rated live morning show in Bill E. Goat, Washington. A little trivia for you. From the National Weather Service, here is your forecast. And again, the big story, going to be the wind. Oh, baby, is that going to be howling tonight into tomorrow? Very strong winds, gusty winds. The winds will be consistently, but not real strong. What's really going to happen is those occasional gusts are going to pop up and really get going. Let's take a look at that forecast. That's your snow. That's what we're looking at for today. Now, as you can see, we have the little shadow there. Cascades are protecting the Wenatchee Valley. So we're not expecting a lot of snow today. It's a slight chance before noon, and then a rain-snow mix possible. We're not probably going to get anything. Maybe a half an inch. They laid out the brine yesterday or last night, so it's not going to stick to the roadway. So as you can see, we have that little shadow there, but we're not going to get any snow. Neither does the Chelan area. Even the Leavenworth Plain area, which can get a little snow, looks like they're going to sneak by that. But the real story is the wind. Look at the high winds possible for Wednesday morning. In fact, here's your timetable. The winds are going to be going pretty strong and pretty consistent from 3 a.m. to 10 a.m. overnight tonight into Wednesday. 3 in the morning until 10 o'clock Wednesday morning is when the winds are going to really get going. And the strongest wind gusts, we're talking the gusts that could pop up at 35, 40, 45 miles an hour for the valley, stronger still up in the Waterville Plateau. Your strongest winds will be from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. tomorrow. 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. tomorrow. We have that high wind watch. It starts late tonight, goes through Wednesday morning. Pretty consistent west winds, 15 to 25 miles an hour. But again, gusts above 50 is possible. Gusts near 75 possible in some of the exposed areas. And that also includes not only the Waterville Plateau, but down south. Mattawa, desert air, you could get some strong winds as well. You can see that highlighted area where they're pretty confident they're going to be buffered by very, very strong winds. Nothing like we saw back in January of 07, but still pretty bad. So that's the big story, is the high winds. As far as the weather today, mostly cloudy, some light snow, some light rain possible. Not going to really accumulate. High today of about 37. That's slightly above normal. Again, tonight is when we start talking about the wind. Tonight, a little bit of rain, a little bit of snow. Could even see some freezing rain. None of this is really going to accumulate. The big story is going to be the wind. Again, 3 a.m. to 10 a.m. is the really windy part. And then the very strongest of all of these gusts are going to be tomorrow, Wednesday, from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. High of 45 on Wednesday. That's a near record high. This mild winter continues. We clear out Wednesday night, 33 for the overnight low, and then we calm down and just kind of sit there with lots of sunshine. Look at that. Sunshine on Thursday. Well, partly sunny anyway. 42. Friday, 43, 41, 43, 39. Lots of sunshine. Again, it's been a very mild weather. Going to start out where we began, which is, again, a high wind watch for all of the areas. Wenatchee, East Wenatchee, Chelan, Antioch, Cashmere, Leavenworth, Waterville, Mansfield, Moses Lake, Ephrata, Othello, and Quincy. Everybody's going to get strong winds overnight tonight. So damaged power lines, trees, garbage cans, that kind of stuff. It can all become an issue. Lots of wind coming your way. All right, that's your forecast. 8 minutes after the hour. Let's go up to your mountain passes. They're going to get some snow, a lot of snow, in addition to a lot of wind. That's a live shot of I-90 right now. Traction tires are advised on Snoqualmie Pass. You can't really tell, but it is snowing up there. The roadway is bare and wet for the most part. You will find some snow and slush in places, and because of that, the Washington State Patrol has posted a traction tire advisory, and that's their job to do so. Stevens Pass, traction tires are advised there. Snow, slush, and ice in places on the roadway. It's a rain-snow mix right now on Stevens Pass. Again, traction tires are advised. No advisories, no restrictions on Blewett. The roadway is mostly bare and dry with some frost and ice in places. Blewett looks good. Doesn't really look too bad at I-90. Stevens, a little dicey. If you absolutely have to travel over the major mountain passes, go now, because they just issued a winter storm warning. You can beat it if you go now. There's a winter storm warning for the Cascades until midnight tonight. The magic number is 3,500 feet. That's the snow level. I-90 today is expecting about 6 inches of snow. For Stevens Pass, 8 to 12 inches of snow, and then an additional 7 to 11 inches of snow possible tonight with high winds. Then they calm down on Wednesday night, and Thursday. But again, winter storm warning for the Cascades until midnight tonight for the 3,500 and above foot level. And I guess Mount Baker, they're going to be measuring the snow up there in feet, not inches. So if you absolutely have to go over the mountain passes today, I would say go now, because the conditions are going to get worse, not better. That's your forecast. That's your past report. Next on the agenda is news, and it's 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 42 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life Channel.
Hello, Wenatchee Valley. Christian Chamberlain here with Bay Equity Home Loans.
Make your dream of building your own home a reality today. Bay Equity Home Loans has teamed up with Real Homes to make building your new home a smooth process. Bay Equity Home Loans of Wenatchee offers new construction loans, FHA 3.5% down, and VA 100% construction loans.
Stop on by or give us a call today.
My name is Lacey Haggerty, and I'm a nurse midwife with Columbia Valley Community Health. I love all aspects of my job because it is a profession that's very committed to empowering women to make decisions in their health care that feel best for them. It's incredibly valuable to me as a midwife that I get to take care of women throughout their whole lifespan. I hope to see you at a future visit because I know you'll love having midwifery care.
12 minutes after the hour on this Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz. Quiet right now, just overcast skies and 30 degrees. But as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, a high wind warning is in effect and will be in effect anyway later on tonight, overnight, with very strong winds from 3 a.m. to about 10 a.m. Early on Wednesday morning, with the very strongest of those strong gusts between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Get ready for some very strong winds. Here's what's making headlines here on this Tuesday morning. The Washington State Department of Fish and Wildlife says it will appeal the approval of the Black Rock Terrace subdivision in the Wenatchee foothills, saying it is concerned about the loss of prime mule deer habitat. Earlier this month, Wenatchee Hearings Examiner Andy Kottkamp rejected an appeal by the department, saying Fish and Wildlife was trying to submit new information not previously entered into the record. So, the state now must sue by February 1st in Chelan County Superior Court to have its objections heard. Fish and Wildlife said the 13-acre, 17-home development would increase the potential for human-wildlife conflicts, listing 8 measures they want to mitigate the impact on mule deer. That includes clustering the development, adding signage, installing deer fencing, and shielding lights, and using cattle guards across ungated driveways. Jim Brown is the Fish and Wildlife Regional Director. He said in a press release that they're not trying to stop the development, just ensure proper steps are taken to protect habitat. Well, a routine traffic stop in Moses Lake turned into an unpleasant encounter with a canine chief for a 26-year-old man. This happened late on Friday night. David Correas had been pulled over by a Grant County Sheriff's deputy and was described as uncooperative. The Moses Lake Police Department said as other officers and Chief, the canine, were arriving, Correas took off running. Chief quickly ran him down, and Moses Lake police officers were able to take Correas into custody. He was treated for minor bite injuries before he was booked on suspicion of DUI, suspended license, and an outstanding warrant. Well, the Lady of the Lake, which operates the ferry service on Lake Chelan, has changed owners. In a news release, Jack and Marilyn Rains say they have sold their Lake Chelan Boat Company business to Discover Lake Chelan, which is a company owned by local residents Reed Courtney and Brun Garfoot. The former owners will stay through the 2019 season to help with the transition. Courtney and Garfoot say they will be offering customers new and enhanced options. What those are yet, though, they didn't specify. Well, 2 Eastmont Junior High School students, of course, were taken to the hospital earlier this month. You heard about this after eating marijuana-infused candy that another student had brought to school. Eastmont Superintendent Garn Christensen sat down with their very own senior news correspondent Steve Hare last week to talk about how the district deals with drug and alcohol issues.
I know that since we've had legalization of marijuana, we've had different types of substances coming into our school than we've seen. As long as I've been involved with public schools at the secondary level, there's been experimentation with both drugs and alcohol at that level, and we've always had to be very involved with supervision, checking students to see if they're under the influence. Since legalization, I think it's made it more readily available in homes, more out in the open, and then the different edibles that are coming in are much harder to detect. The smell of marijuana is a very specific smell. Once you get trained on what that smells like, it's easy to note where the edibles are not. And some of the edibles There's videos out you can look, and they look like a regular piece of chocolate or gummy bear. You couldn't tell the difference. We are doing a parent information night. That will be, I think it's January 30th, 7 o'clock at our high school. Our drug and alcohol counselor will be leading that, and we're also inviting local law enforcement agencies to participate.
So what's the message to parents out there with regard to this?
I think the message to parents would be the same as with any other substances in your home, whether it's prescription drugs or alcohol. If you have those products, you need to keep them secured. Young people are curious. That's human nature. They want to try these different things. They're not old enough. It's illegal. And, one of the worst things that can happen is, I think being a teenager is stressful, always has been. Part of the Eastmont model is we have a very strong disciplinary action. We go to a 90-day long-term suspension immediately for any drug or alcohol use, which is very severe. Yet if a student agrees to go through a counseling intervention, meaning they sit down with the student, and try to determine, was this the first use, or is this a daily user, or is this student using substances throughout the day? Mm-hmm. And if they agree, that immediately gets shortened to 10 days. If they come in with what we call a group of caring adults, that could be grandparents, other relatives, a pastor, a neighbor, they can get it further reduced to 5 days if that group commits to help get this student to graduation. We've had good success with that model. We continue to refine it, and our hope is that we'll avoid this situation in the future, but we do need parents to do everything they can to keep those products out of the hands of young people.
And that's a look at what's making headlines on this Tuesday morning, the 22nd day of January. I am Dan Kuntz. Don't forget, the news will come your way tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and again at 10 o'clock. And don't forget, we got high school wrestling tonight. The Wenatchee Panthers and the Eastmont Wildcats from the Eastmont High School Gymnasium with Eric Grandstrom. But the news with Grant Olson, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, 5, 6, and 10. You can also watch it by going to our website at ncwlife.com. And we also post a link to our website on our Facebook page. Once the news is up and running, you can watch it whenever you want to watch it. You can even watch old newscasts if you want. Old news. That would be olds, I guess, instead of news. In any event, you can check out the news live on this very television station, or as we like to say in the business, TV, or you can check it out on your tablet, on your computer, on your smartphone by simply going to ncwlife.com about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and boom, there you go. And at the bottom of your screen is all the different ways you can get a hold of us, and there are a number of them. You can go to our Facebook page and private message us. You can send us a contact via our website at ncwlife.com. You can't miss that, the get a hold of us icon in the upper right-hand corner. You can email us, news at ncwlife.com. You can pick up the telephone and give us a call if you so desire. Technology, it's a wonderful thing, but it can be unhelpful at times. 18 minutes after the hour. When we come back, sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Live from Studio 3 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
When Mike leaves town, it's a little scary. You never know who might be outside. But we feel safer inside knowing our home is being monitored by a local company. I can check our alarm from just about anywhere. So when we get home, I know it's safe.
Protect your family and save money with a local company. Switch your current security monitoring to Guardian Services from LocalTel. Call Guardian Security from LocalTel now or visit localtel.net to learn more.
Put winter weather in its place with a new Cub Cadet snow thrower from Rose Tractor. Hi, this is Corey. Let us help you get through the season with our line of Cub Cadet snow throwers. When it comes to snow, never let winter weather get in your way. The Cub Cadet X Series line of snow throwers offers 3 levels of snow clearing power and a host of award-winning models. Get ahead of the snow. Let us help you get into the right snow thrower for the job. Rose Tractor, family owned and operated, located at the corner of 3rd and Rock Island Road in East Wenatchee.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. 30 degrees, overcast skies, very calm right now, but it's the calm before the storm with a high wind watch. Very strong winds overnight tonight from about 3 a.m. until about 10 a.m. on Wednesday. Batten down the hatches. Here's sports. By about 3 o'clock this afternoon, 3:15 or so, that's when the announcement's going to be made. We're going to know if former Mariner Edgar Martinez makes it into the greatest Hall of Fame there is, the Baseball Hall of Fame. Major League Baseball will announce the 2019 induction class live on MLB.com today, also on their Facebook page. Punch in their ticket, almost guaranteed. Mariano Rivera, Roy Halladay. I think Edgar's going to make it. Mike Mussina might have a good chance, according to the Baseball Hall of Fame tracker website. It looks like Roger Clemens, Kurt Schilling, and Barry Bonds will not make it in, at least not this year. Eastmont girls soccer coach Erin Riedel going to be stepping down from the position to concentrate on being a mom. Good for her. On her Facebook account yesterday, Riedel announced her retirement. She said, quote, "As every chapter ends, a new one begins. After 12 years, 3 teams, hundreds of players, 9 playoff runs, a district title, a trip to state, and a Coach of the Year honor, I made the impossibly difficult decision to retire as head coach of the Eastmont girls soccer program. This program has been a part of my life for 16 of the last 20 years, playing for 4, coaching for 12. It is being left in the hands of players who care more about each other than they do about the wins." End quote. By the way, Riedel announced back in December that she and her husband Brandon were expecting their first child. She added in her announcement yesterday, quote, "When I feel the kicks inside my growing belly, I know I'm making the right choice. It's time for me to try out this whole mom thing." Congratulations to Erin, and best of luck in whoever gets the job. Has a lot of work to do. There you go. That's the upcoming wrestling prep schedule. Grapplers will be doing battle in Okanagan. Chelan, Cashmere, and Cascade will all do battle. That begins at 6 o'clock tonight. Tonight, right here on the NCW Live channel, Eric Grandstrom will be mat side. Eastmont and Wenatchee from Eastmont High School will get going at around 7 o'clock. Lots of high school basketball tonight around the region. First girls, because the ladies go first. Cashmere travels to Omak in Caribou Trail League action, 5:45. That's the same start for Okanagan at Chelan, Warden at Cascade, and B basketball tonight. Aniat hosts Cascade Christian. Liberty Bell is at Manson at 6 o'clock. That's the girls. The boys, same as the girls, just a little bit later on in the day. Cashmere is at Omak, Chelan hosting Okanagan. Warden travels to Leavenworth to take on Cascade. Those all start at 7:15. At 7:30, Cascade Christian at Aniat. Manson hosts Liberty Bell. By the way, the Caribou Trail League season is winding down in basketball. A reminder of our sports broadcast schedule for the week. It's a big one, as we already talked about. Wrestling tonight at 7 o'clock. Hockey night Thursday features last Friday's Wenatchee Wild game against the Trail Smoke Eaters. On Friday, our cameras and our crew will be at Wenatchee High School as the Panthers host Sunnyside in a basketball doubleheader. The girls first at 5:30, the boys at 7:30. And although you don't see it on the screen, we will be at Eastmont High School on Saturday night, too, for the Panthers and the Wildcats in basketball. Finally, Wenatchee Wild continue their 8-game homestand tomorrow night with a game against the Merritt Centennials. Merritt comes to town sitting just in front of Wenatchee. In the interior division, they got 57 points. The Wild have 56. Penticton has raced out to a big lead. They have 63 points. That's second only to Chilliwack, 65 points in the entire league. Puck drops tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. It's dollar beer and hot dog night, which means through the first intermission, beer and hot dogs are just $1. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. On this Tuesday, it's 23 minutes after the hour. You notice I just usually throw random stuff on my desk. But this has a theme. Hot sauce, hot sauce, hot sauce, hot sauce. It's Hot Sauce Day. National Hot Sauce Day. Turn up the heat. Put hot sauce on everything you eat. Put hot sauce on your hot sauce for all I care. I like my food spicy. I'm on the record on that. Chipotle, jalapeno peppers, habaneros, chili peppers, green chilies. I don't care. The higher on the Scoville scale, the better. That's what they measure the hotness or the spiciness of any one thing is a Scoville scale. The higher on the scale, the hotter the pepper may be. By the way, India is the world's largest producer and consumer of chili peppers, and chili peppers themselves is the largest source of hot sauce anywhere in the world. So you take your chili peppers or whatever it is, and you puree them, you cook them, you smoke them, you pickle them, I don't care what it is. Put hot sauce on it. It's good for you. It's National Hot Sauce Day. Perfect for January 22nd, wouldn't you say? Speaking of January 22nd, a very unique day in history. Every event that we're going to profile today happened on the same day. January 22nd, 1973. Lyndon Baines Johnson, the 36th President of the United States, dies of a heart attack at his ranch in Johnson City, Texas, at the age of 64. January 22nd, 1973, the Supreme Court of the United States delivered their decisions in Roe v. Wade and Doe v. Bolton, legalizing abortion in all 50 states. Ironically enough, it did not affect the abortion laws in Oregon, Hawaii, New York, and Washington, where abortion was already legal. In addition to that, January 22nd, 1973, a Boeing 707 explodes in flames upon landing at an airport in Nigeria. 176 people were killed at the time. It was the deadliest airplane crash in history. January 22nd, 1973, the Ford Motor Company recalled nearly 4 million automobiles after a flaw was detected in the steering system. It was, at the time, the largest automobile recall in history. And January 22nd, 1973, George Foreman knocked down Joe Frazier. In Kingston, Jamaica, George Foreman, down goes Frazier in 2 rounds to become the heavyweight champion of the world. All of those events, the death of Lyndon Johnson, the worst plane crash ever, Roe v. Wade, the huge recall, George Foreman winning the championship, all happened on the same day, January 22nd, 1973. And we just got one birthday for you, a celebrity birthday, but it's a big one. They don't get much bigger than Sam Cooke. Invented soul music. I think he has a claim to that. All of his great hits, Wonderful World, Shake, A Change Is Gonna Come, Cupid. He wrote them all. The man was a genius. Was born in the state in 1931, was killed at the age of 33 in 1964, was one of the first 10 inductees into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Sam Cooke, the legend, born on this date in 1931. We're going to take a break at 26 minutes after the hour. When we come back, everybody's entitled to Mike McNally's opinion and my conversation with Jim Snyder and Adele Wolford. Art on the Avenues. They got some big news coming up. You won't want to miss that. It's all coming up. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
What's your Automocha emergency?
It's a Paprika mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate for pita.
Definitely the espresso shakes. My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull. Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
Hi, I'm Kevin Prosser, and this is my print shop, Color Effects in Cashmere. Color Effects offers screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing on t-shirts, jerseys, bags, banners, signs, and more. With 30 years experience, you won't be disappointed with the quality and quick turnaround times you will get at more than a fair price. Please call Color FX.
Antique Mall at Cashmere wishes you a happy and prosperous new year. With 15,000 square feet to explore, Antique Mall at Cashmere has something for everyone. For repurposing projects, do-it-yourselfers, and those with a keen eye for making something old fresh and new again, this is the place to find your next project. Antique Mall at Cashmere, their friendly staff is here to help you. Stop on by today.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Since 1932, Camp Seneca, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Seneca's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Seneca today, www.campfirencw.org.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I sometimes see on Facebook posts about pictures of police officers in full SWAT gear and the like, stating that these officers are heroes, men and women of courage, and they are. Hey, no doubt, believe me. But a lot of that, if I may say so, is just sometimes macho posing. Not in any way to show disrespect to those involved in the aggressive and potentially violent side of police work, But there's another side of police heroism. Those cops who deal with wounded victims, very often children. Wounds that are not physical, but instead emotional and psychological. It's these interactions with the most vulnerable members of our society which caused cop-turned-author Joseph Wumbaugh to say that it's the emotional and psychological stressors of these kind of contacts that make police work the world's most dangerous profession. Now, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
There's no substitute for the power of cable TV advertising. With Solion Cable TV advertising, you can reach your target audience right here in North Central Washington. We understand their viewing habits and can precisely target your customers on great cable networks like these. Call Solion Broadcasting today and let us show you how to put your business message right in front of thousands of prospects at a very affordable price. Solion Broadcasting, 509-888-2020. Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz. 24 years ago, 4 really smart people got together and came up with a really, really good idea. And it's been going strong for over 20 years now, and they're in the news in a good way. I'm talking about our friends of Arts on the Avenue, or Art on the Avenues, I should say. And two of the main driving forces of this organization are joining me today. Adele Wolford is to my immediate left and Jim Snyder to my far left. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have a lot to talk about. I'm going to just real briefly go through Jim's email about what's going on with Art on the Avenues, and we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. But first of all, I want to go back in time. You told me this off camera, and I want to know on camera now. The genesis of this entire project, Art on the Avenues, goes back to a trip that you made and you stumbled. Tell the story, Jim.
Exactly. Well, I traveled quite a bit for the business, the Fruit Tree Nursery that I was with at that time. And one of those areas that I visited on an annual basis happened to be Grand Junction, Colorado.
Beautiful area.
Yeah, beautiful area, and like to kind of explore around the town if I get some extra time in between visiting growers in this case. And so I meandered my way to the downtown, kind of the historical downtown of Grand Junction. And while I was moseying around, I noticed that they had a lot of bronze sculptures on the sidewalks, and quite a few large, almost life-size, as well as some smaller ones on pedestals on both sides of the street. And it was like, wow, this is really cool. I wonder how they pulled this off. And I think it was at that time I made a call in to the Chamber of Commerce and just asked a couple questions about this program. Come to be that it was a volunteer program between the artists, the individuals producing the sculptures, and the actual city of Grand Junction. And it was a unique process of the two working together where the city initially did not have to outlay money for the sculptures to be shown. It was really neat. So the sculptures would come in and visit the area for, I believe it was a 2-year minimum at that point, as well as what we have in Wenatchee. And it kind of took it from there, said, hey, this looks like a great idea for Wenatchee, that this could possibly work. And that's when I returned from the trip, I got a hold of Adele Wolford with the Arts Commission at that point, and had a good conversation with her and described the program from my point of view, what I had seen. And she got excited about the possibilities. And it was just shortly after that herself and Steve Maher and I think one or two other people actually flew down to Grand Junction, spoke to people about the program, and researched it, and came back, and Adele took it and put that program together for Wenatchee up here, something that would work, and that was 24 years ago, 24 some years ago. She spearheaded that program.
You must be very proud of your 24-year-old baby who's grown up to be. I mean, this is cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's now a gentleman.
Yeah, a young gentleman with
Yeah.
a long way to go. And this valley and the Wenatchee Valley lends itself to art on the avenues. I mean, it's such a beautiful area, nation from a nature standpoint. It just you bring in the art to complement it, and so everybody wins with it.
They do.
Yeah. How did so you two you talked to Adele and Adele kind of took it from there.
And Adele took it from there at that point. I was kind of getting my feet wet, had moved back to Wenatchee from the west side. And Adele just encompassed what needed to be done, and I can't say enough. She took it and had the energy to move it forward, and is really herself together with people. She put together a strong group behind her, I think, on the board as things were developing, and just really moved that program forward. And it wasn't until I ran into Adele at, I think it was a Wenatchee Downtown Association meeting, and we bumped into each other in the hallway as we were leaving and started talking, and she said, why don't you consider coming on the board, since there's a part of you who initiated this. And I did so with the WDA, and then started working, closely with Adele and try and help out where I can with the program moving forward into the future and what's going to be happening over the next year. It's great. So I feel blessed to be able to working with her.
Adele, at what point did you know, hey, this is going to work? People are going to embrace this. People are going to walk around the park in downtown Wenatchee and embrace this art and enjoy this art and get something out of it. Was there a certain aha epiphany that, hey, Jim's little brainchild is happening?
No, I just let it unfold.
Okay.
But after the first exhibit that came in and some people purchased, I thought, I think this is going to be okay, and just kept thinking years ahead and planning. I'm still planning. I'm not finished.
How did the decision go about what piece of art goes where when the piece was commissioned and the artist does a sculpture? You got to put it in the right location. It takes a lot of planning, I suppose.
Oh, it does.
Yeah. How does that work? That whole this needs to go here and this needs to go here.
Well, it's my background and is in art, and I had another very fine person, Carol Larson Roth, who worked along with me. She had a business downtown, art, selling art. And so we got together, and we just, I laid out, I designed the sculpture garden, and kind of went from there. That was the nucleus, and then we went on to go both north and south, and tried to choose a variety of sculptures, which we have totally, from all directions, materials, composition, everything. And I always had in the back of my mind that we were doing it for children. And so I was thinking about what can we do to make this happen. And so 15 years ago, we started Beauty of Bronze, and that's for 5th graders. We started with Columbia School first, And we had just that small little community of 5th graders, and they so enjoyed it. So we continued and slowly got one after another of the schools. Now we have all 7, plus a couple of others that are private schools. And we do that the last week of September, the first week of October. And they built a little 3-inch maquette that we send away to be done in bronze. And that is returned then, and it goes to the museum for a couple of weeks, and we have a big celebration on the first Friday of December. And then all the sculptures go back to the respective schools, and then at the Christmas break, they receive these sculptures to keep for the rest of their lives. And
hopefully you're planting seeds. You're creating the next
you
generation.
You know I am.
Yeah.
Exactly what I'm doing.
The reason that these are bronze, I mean, we live in this is dead of January as we tape this. I mean, these have to be hardy pieces of art because they're going to be out in the elements. They're not going anywhere.
Yes. Well, we do stone, and we also do found metals. So we have a variety. As I said, that's what it takes.
Let me ask you this: the pieces are commissioned. Do you send them a photo of this is where your piece of artwork is going to go, build something or create something for this space, or it is like here's my piece of art and then you find out where it goes?
No.
How does that process work?
No, we send out a prospectus to a group all over the United States. Some are national and some are international people. And then we ask them to submit a sculpture. And so they do. And if it weren't for these artists, there wouldn't be art on the avenues. So I'm indebted to them. And they're just like my extended family. But this is has been received well, and they donate these sculptures for us to try and sell. And we do it, and we get a commission on it, and then that sculpture remains here. And then we gathered all of these basalt rocks. I couldn't figure out what we were going to do for pedestals. And I was driving in from Crescent Bar one morning, and I was looking at all the cliffs, and bingo, I knew exactly what I was going to do. And then
sounds like this whole thing has some divine intervention going on here. I mean, if Jim hadn't happened to go to Grand Junction on business and go downtown and see this, and then, I mean, there's a lot of somebody was looking over on this little project.
I think so. Yeah. And then
it was a mission from God.
It had to have been.
A farmer offered to donate if we would come and get the material and haul it back and put it in. He would donate the stone. Wow. So we did this, and I selected spots, and my committee started digging holes. We have a picture someplace of Steve Maher, and he's about this far down in the ground, and had dug this hole. And then we had to have a crane and had to pour and tamp it and all this stuff, and they're definitely permanently there.
Yeah. Which brings us really to Jim's email. If you've been downtown or you've been down on the park on the riverfront and you see these things as you walk and you peruse and you enjoy the artwork and you go, boy, I wish I could have that. Well, that would be nice to have. Well, maybe you can. That's what we'll talk about when we come back. Talking about art on the avenues, some exciting things going on with Jim Snyder and Adele Wolford. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
My name is Lacey Haggerty, and I'm a nurse midwife with Columbia Valley Community Health. I love all aspects of my job because it is a profession that's very committed to empowering women to make decisions in their health care that feel best for them. It's incredibly valuable to me as a midwife that I get to take care of women throughout their whole lifespan. I hope to see you at a future visit because I know you'll love having midwifery care.
Hey everyone, did you know that the NCW Life channel is North Central Washington's go-to source for news? No matter how you prefer to view your news, NCW Life has you covered. Watch the evening news weeknights on TV, stream it, read it at ncwlife.com, or catch the latest news by following us on Facebook. Stay informed with local news, sports, weather, and shows featuring local people and events. NCW Life, a reflection and a spotlight of the communities we call home.
And we are back on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley talking about art on the avenues, which is the perfect time now to transition to Jim Snyder's email he sent to me back in December. There are, you told me, Adele, 88 of these on display. You sent me this email explaining why you'd like to be on the show. Well, Jim, you're on the show, so why are you here?
We are here together to promote this program over the next, I believe we've got close to 15 months where we are trying, as mentioned, trying to sell the sculptures that are presently on display that are visiting sculptures. Because when that time period is over, we're not going to be accepting any more visiting sculptures. So the legacy that we build at this point by individuals, companies, stepping up to the plate and saying, hey, we'd like to be part of this. We have an opportunity to see a permanent piece of art come that to fruition and be here 5 years down the road. It isn't a piece that's left and gone back to the artist. And in doing so, also helping those artists who have been committed to the program. So, and aside from that, hopefully there will be some people out there that have not visited the program before, have never been down at the riverfront and examined what's there, or in the downtown of Wenatchee. So we're hoping that by getting out there, there will be people who can experience that, whether the first time or the first time with their family, and say, hey, this is really something special for the community. And it really is.
Oh, I agree 100%. And you brought some renderings here. I'm just going to hold this up to the. There you go. What are we looking at right there? This is the one I like the best. It's entitled "Rock and Roll on a Skateboard."
Yep.
And this is located where exactly?
Sculpture Garden.
Okay.
Just right to the right. On a mound that has 3 or 4 other sculptures. And it's, I've been cleaning sculptures all these years, and it's amazing how many people, when the children and teenagers love this piece.
Oh, and I can see why. I can see why.
It's cool, they say, cool.
And this is something that can be.
That was actually an example of something that's part of our permanent program. Absolutely. It was purchased actually by Art on the Avenues as something donated to this program, to the city for this ongoing program.
Here's another one for you to look at, ladies and gentlemen. I'll hold that right here. What are we looking at?
And this, I might explain, is this sculpture is called PED. It is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, almost, piece of sculpture that has been made. The individual on the right that is describing this piece of art to the children happens to be Kevin Patel. And Kevin, if I've got that right, is out of Solton.
Yeah, that's correct.
And he has been someone that has been with this program and working with Adele since I think way back to the beginning.
15 years ago.
15 years ago. And Kevin is very active in the Beauty of Bronze program that Adele was explaining as well. So just a wonderful guy to have on the team.
And it's this actually might be the most popular of all.
Yes.
Of this, people always talk. Have you seen that giant foot that they have?
Yeah.
Which is I always thought was cool. This one, this is an awfully big one. I hope I can get this into frame. Jim or Adele, do the honors, please.
History lesson.
Okay.
And this piece was in a window downtown on First Street. And it's bronze, and we have it in a window because this one, the patina on it, isn't as durable as some of the patinas and would take more maintenance. So unless it sells, you know, we wouldn't be able to keep it.
Right, I understand completely. So there are about, you said there's about 15 on that are for sale still, or 12?
15.
15?
15.
15
was the magic number.
Okay. So how do we sell these babies? What do we do? How can I do my part?
Adele, you want to explain that
How does
part?
this work?
How we do that? How the different options that someone has to get a hold of us?
Please do.
Well, you could call me, or you could call Jim.
Me, exactly.
And we're on the web. We will be. We got
the website I discovered is down, but it's coming back. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's and we can show you a tour of it, of the visiting sculptures. And what we're trying to do is have people purchase and donate it back, so that it's here forever and everyone can enjoy it, not just one individual. So just contact, we have contact numbers.
Right. Oh yeah. And you can just get a hold of me. Just email me, Dan, or go to our Facebook page, and I got Jim and Adele's phone numbers. I'll be more than happy to return your phone call.
Either one of us would be happy to come out to your place, go through. We have a brochure with all of the sculptures and pieces of art for sale, all colored pictures, as well as we can show you the locations that they're at. Be glad to do whatever it takes to provide what we need to on our end to try and pique interest.
And we want to keep this. You mentioned in your email, no new sculptures are slated to be put on display after you sell
this.
That's
So
right.
this is a major. This is a big moment for you guys then.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So, 88 of them. I think I've missed about half of them. How could I possibly do that? I love going down to the Riverfront Park. Maybe that's my problem.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah, because
that's the real jewel.
Yeah. Is there one last question before we cut you loose, because we're almost out of time? Sure. People go, you know what? I'm new to the area. I love this idea. Is there a map where you can go and say this is where all 88 pieces are and how you get there and what they are?
We have brochures,
Okay.
and we have them at locations along the trail. You can get them at Pybus. There's one at
Chamber of Commerce.
Our chamber has them, but we've got one at the PAC by the fountain, and we have one at the sculpture garden, one down at near the boat launch, and then one on the north end, just north of 5th Street.
Okay.
And I designed and had built these steel compartments, and we go around every week and fill them. And there are lots of them at Pybus.
Good.
So
that's as good a place to start as any.
yes,
Absolutely.
yes, it's a great space. Yeah. So anyway, there are people that just stop. If I'm down there, they just stop, and they're just so happy to have it. And I so appreciate that.
Yeah.
So we've got a jewel here,
Yep.
and we need to reinforce it, and everybody needs to be a part of this. It's our legacy, it is our identity, it is history as well as education for years to come, for
and
generations.
And as the kids would say, it's cool.
It's cool.
It's cool. There you go. Yeah. Let us know how it goes. If you need any more help on promoting this, Jim, get a hold of me, all right?
Oh, great, Dan.
Yeah, good to see you. Jim Snyder
Really
and Adele Wolford.
appreciate you.
Art on the
Thank
Avenues.
you.
Go out there and enjoy it. Check it out.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's cool. You'll find something, I guarantee you're going to find something that's going to pique your interest that you'll just stare at for a while.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's good to see
Touch
it.
it.
Yeah, touch it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Kids play on the big foot. Might as well, right?
Yeah.
Or you're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Only one country could build a truck like this. Designed in California, engineered in Michigan, tested in Arizona, and assembled in Mississippi. Powered by Cummins of Indiana. The all-new Nissan Titan. It's an American classic. Is it on your list? Come down and see us at Town Nissan behind Costco in East Wenatchee.
If you're stuck trying to find the perfect beer for you, look no further than Badger Mountain Brewing. We specialize in creating tantalizing craft beers that will soothe any picky taste buds and will satisfy your cravings. Check out everything from our amazing honey blonde that will appease even the most finicky taster, or a delicious frothy stout for dark beer lovers. Experience them all at Badger Mountain Brewing.
And we're back live here at Studio 7 in downtown Wenatchee to wrap up this Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're going to wrap up this program with where we began about 57 minutes ago, and that's with your weather forecast, because although it's calm right now, it's just high overcast and 30 degrees, we are in for a very stormy night. Take a look at it. Again, nothing happening really today, just cloudy, high of about 37, a little bit of light rain and snow possible, but the big story is the high wind watch. It is in effect from late tonight through Wednesday morning, from 3 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the Wenatchee Valley, and in fact, all over north central Washington. Chelan, Antioch, Cashmere, Leavenworth, Mansfield, Waterville, Moses Lake, Ephrata, Othello, and Quincy. Going to be very, very windy, especially between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. on Wednesday. I have a couple of slides I want to show to you. First of all, the snow possibilities as the system rolls in, very active weather system. Again, not a lot there. You can see how the Wenatchee Valley and up into the Chelan area, we're in that snow shadow, so we're okay there. If you see the purple, that's a winter weather advisory, which is not in effect for the Wenatchee Valley. So we're not going to get a lot of rain or snow or even freezing rain. Big story is the wind. Check it out. Here's our wind, high wind slide to show for you. That's the big story. And look at that big area where they have a very strong confidence, the National Weather Service is. They have very strong winds are going to come our way. West winds, when this happens, about 15 to 25 miles an hour. In the valley proper, we could see gusts pushing 50 miles an hour. And in those exposed areas, those ridges, say Wenatchee Heights, Waterville, Mansfield, that area, you could see gusts up to 75 miles an hour. And again, the timeline, 3 a.m. Wednesday morning to 10 a.m. Wednesday morning, with the strongest winds between 6 and 8 a.m. tomorrow. That's why they have a high wind watch, and they're pretty confident this is going to happen. As far as precipitation, we could see a little bit of rain, a little bit of snow, a little bit of freezing rain, but as you can see by our previous graphic, with highs in the mid-40s with sunshine on Wednesday after this wind comes through, I think we'll be all right. But the big story is the wind. Very, very windy tonight from 3 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Wednesday morning, with the strongest winds coming your way between 8 and 10, or between 6 and 8 tomorrow morning. Everybody have a great Tuesday. We'll see you Wednesday. Take care. Bye-bye.